Hi guys, my name is Emily DeSimone with the Garden State Film Festival, and today here with me I have Natalie, Zach, and Caleb with the film No Way Out. Guys, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm doing good, thank you. Do you guys want to tell me a little bit about your film No Way Out and what your particular roles are in the production of this film?
Sure. I guess I'll start. I'm the I'm the writer and director of the film. It was my senior thesis project. Natalie and Zach are two of my close friends that helped me work on it. So yeah.
Okay. Natalie, can you tell me a bit about what you're doing behind the scenes for the film?
Yeah. Like Caleb said, it was sort of a friends working together sort of situation. It was in the last year of college, and so I was working as gaffer, working with lighting. I was sort of camera assistant, getting lenses on the camera and PAing, holding things. It was doing a lot of jobs.
And Zach?
It was in pretty much the same boat during production, and then after we finished filming with some post effects and color.
Okay, that's really awesome. So, and Caleb, you direct, wrote, and produced No Way Out. Can you tell our viewers a bit about your inspiration for the film?
Sure. Well, I had been looking at a lot of German Impressionism stuff at the time. I had been watching like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and just looking at different German pieces, and I had been dealing with like a lot of just kind of like anxiety and like some self doubt at the time. So those were kind of like themes I was pulling from, like, as well as like some like surrealism and dream kind of landscape things.
Okay. So can you tell me, I guess so this was a student film. You all were at school together?
Yeah, we went to the New School in New York.
Okay. Okay. So I'm assuming you had like classes together and whatnot. Like you just knew each other. Did you like reach out and say, "Hey, I need, people that can do this to help me out"? Like, can you tell me a bit about like your background together, your history together, I guess, working together and whatnot?
Yeah, so we met in a post cinema aesthetics class, actually. We were well, I think I was the first semester junior, and Natalie and Zach were sophomores, and that's where we first met. And then I needed people to work on this crew project because it was it was like a senior. It was the senior thesis, and it was like, I need people I can rely on. I don't have a lot of money, so I asked them if they could help me, and then be reimbursed with food and credit, and yeah.
Okay. Natalie, can you tell me a bit about your experience running into, I guess, the making of this film?
Yeah. First of all, it was a lot of fun. It was sort of the only student film project I'd worked on that was so organized. Caleb had already set up locations before he called us on, which normally isn't the case. And we were working in like really curated spaces. He'd already done so much work on set deck and like actual carpentry. So that was really cool, which didn't happen a lot with a lot of new school projects. We were mostly working on documentaries at the time. And so I joined on. It was finals week, and we didn't sleep for like 50 hours, and we just knocked it out and stayed on set all night. It was a lot of fun.
And that 50 hours sounds like a blast.
It really was. It was a lot of fun.
Zach, can you tell me a bit about your experience with the curating of this film?
Yeah. I mean, it was it was a little hectic, you know. It was like hanging out with a few of my trying to make a movie. It was in Hoboken where we were shooting, so we were muting back and forth in the wee hours of the morning. It was
a blast. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for, Zach? Good time, yeah.
Okay, so how when did you guys end up filming this? Like,
Oh, so it was pre-COVID. It was like, God, it was December, the week of, I think, December 19th, 2019 or something like that. Like we'd been in post for like a while, like as far as just different things. And working with my main editor who lives in Norway, just like being remote, it ended up taking a lot longer just because there was like a lot of different things to do, and like it made it a lot harder. Yeah, so it was a while ago.
how particularly did COVID like affect? I know you said you finished filming prior, but I guess maybe just the finishing touches.
Sure. So we had a class that's supposed to be specifically for final stages of post production, and COVID happened, and the classes became remote. And we weren't able to. I wasn't able to work with some of the equipment the school has to offer. I had some other problems came up as far as some stuff. Like it was just very like unexpected. So it was like, okay, all of a sudden, like I don't have access in a lot of ways to the professors in like as much of a detail-oriented way. I don't have access to the computers. Everyone is cut off. Like there was a lot of like stuff we had to do remotely, is just as far as like music and different sounds in post that became entirely based on just like talking to each other over like text or email or voice calls, and also like the time difference being a big thing because Carl lives in Norway, so it was like, okay, like what time works for you? We're both living our lives, and he was helping me out.
Yeah. What is the time difference from, I guess, Eastern Standard to Norway?
I think it's 6 hours.
Okay, that's not. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, can you guys tell me a bit about, what you're looking for your audience to gain from your film?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to create an emotional space of, I guess, anxiety, and kind of dealing with anxiety and personal trauma, I guess, as far as like demons, how they can eat away at you and consume you. Yeah, I guess. Hoping the audience is, I don't know, uncomfortable, I guess. Maybe has a laugh as well. I don't know.
No, I mean, absolutely. I think that's why, you have plenty of very successful TV shows today are some of the ones that make you sit back and you're uncomfortable watching it, but it keeps people in, you know what I mean? So, Natalie and Zach, can you guys tell me a bit about your experience and maybe something you've learned through this experience for what you're doing? Natalie, do you want to
go? Yeah, you go.
What have I learned? I guess I learned a lot about directing from watching Caleb working with the actors. The way he cast the film was very professional, and I wasn't on the project at the time, but I was his friend, so I got to sort of watch the process from that perspective, and that was interesting. And he worked with somebody that he really admired, which was cool to have a professional actor who you know the work of. And So yeah, watching both Caleb interacting with actors and the way that they responded to that was really cool to learn from.
Okay, and Zach, can you tell me, how this experience has helped you with, what it is you are doing, what you want to be doing in the film world?
Yeah, I mean, being in film is like making art, you know. So this movie with Caleb was like an opportunity, exactly what I want to get out of things. So like, and I hope that we all have a chance to make more stuff together in the future.
That's awesome. So why the Garden State Film Festival?
I mean, I thought it would be like a really excellent opportunity from what I had been reading about it. I actually had a coworker when I when I was working at a bookstore recommend you guys. They're like, oh, you should definitely. I was telling her about my project, and she's like, oh, you should definitely apply to the Garden State Film Festival. You know, it's a great festival. It's a great opportunity to get exposure. It's it's an excellent opportunity also as like a New Jersey native to support something like this. So I was just super excited. I mean, I live in the area too, like around Cranford as well, which I that's a great movie theater. You know, I'm very happy it's still there considering the pandemic as well. I mean, it's a really quaint theater.
Okay, how does it feel to be accepted to the Garden State Film Festival?
I was super excited. You know, stuff is hit or miss, and I was really I had some out of state stuff, that was kind of iffy. You never know. It's kind of the Wild West with some things. But I was, when I, especially like what I had been, what I'd become familiar with as far as you guys from what I knew, I was super excited. I'm like, this is a well-run festival. It's local. It's nearby where I live. I'm super excited to be able to be a part of it.
Well, we're excited to have you. Do you have any advice for people that are directing and writing and producing, other filmmakers?
Yeah, I mean, if you're starting out, if it's your first short or feature, I think you should. Organization is definitely important, and having people that you can count on and rely on, because obviously if you're starting out, you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of people you can pay. So networking and having really great friends is helpful. But also it's your first film, so like problems are going to are going to happen, like be able and willing to adapt and learn from the experience, and don't think of it as like this is the final thing I'm going to do, because you're going to grow, you're going to hone your craft.
Okay, no, that's great advice. Natalie and Zach, from a behind the scenes, working with equipment and working with those graphics, like, do you have any advice that you can give to other people that work your same roles? Natalie, you can start.
Thanks. That was my first experience as a gaffer, and really working creatively with not a ton of equipment to make really interesting lighting situations. And I think the advice would be, think outside the box. Don't be afraid to, I'm from Ohio, we call it hillbilly rig. Just hillbilly rig something and get some gaff tape out and tape things together and be creative.
And Zach, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, we all went to school for film production and film theory. We learned a lot in school, but as soon as I was on set with everyone, none of that really applied. Like it was actually making something, and I feel like I learned so much about working in film from actually being there and doing it. So I guess the idea would be to like make like go out and make a movie, you know?
Make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, well, you guys, you can go see No Way Out on Saturday, March 25th at the Cranford Theater from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It's a block where multiple films will be shown, just so you guys are aware. And thank you so much for joining us today, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.